Prove it to yourself. It's about proving it to yourself and building your character. And to explain is like, you know how a lot of people think that if they had like millions of dollars and different material things that they would be happy. And that might be the case for a period of time. But let's take like a millionaire, for example, that has like as many cars as he can dream of, big mansion, all the chains, the nice watches, fine dining, private jet, whatever you can think of, right? You would think that the material things would make you feel like you won, victory. But you still have to look yourself in the mirror. That person still has to look themselves in the mirror. And to some people that might be like, well, but they have all this, they've won. How could they not be feeling amazing? But it's not about the material. It's not about the material things. When you look in the mirror, you have to look at your soul. You have to live with yourself, who you are as a person, right? Your chains don't make you who you are. They might be a trophy of your success, but they don't make you who you are. You and your character traits, your values, your code, like who you are in every moment. Life is a test, and your decisions are something that sometimes you're gonna make mistakes, but it's about learning from those mistakes, because you could learn and read a million books and think that because you're gonna read all these books that you're not gonna make any of the mistakes that they're teaching you, like the mistakes they made that they taught you. You're gonna make mistakes. That's life. It's unavoidable. Like, obviously, with like safety and preparation and planning, you can avoid a lot of mistakes, and you can speed up your rate of success, right? But you're gonna make mistakes, and you gotta look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day. So the question is, who are you, and what makes you you? And this is one of those things where you gotta look deep inside of yourself, and it's gonna put you through the ringer. It is, because you're gonna have to find things that you didn't think were there, and it's the point is, you want to find like your character, the things that are authentic about you, your perspective of the world. And like mistakes, sometimes your perspective will be quote unquote like wrong to other people. And it's a fine line understanding when to check yourself and when to know that you should move. Like, you shouldn't check yourself. Like, sometimes it's like, nah, like, this is me and this is what I do and this is who I am. But sometimes with like practical things like respect and just good morals, you got to check yourself and be like, I was wrong there. Because yeah, it's just one of those things. And so, as a person that's trying to get to a place where I'm proving to myself that I am who I say I am. And you don't always have to speak it out, because you're trying to prove it to yourself. So like, when a when a when a situation arises that tests your character, that's when you speak on it, you know. But you don't need to go around telling everybody, "Hey, I got the I got the sauce," Because if you really got it, then you proved it to who? yourself, and then other people are going to see that. Now, I would say that I think it is really important to share your perspective, share your wisdom, because lots of people are out here lost and searching for answers. And a lot of them are being fooled, one, for money, or two, just for a person that's not trying to prove it to themselves, like a person that's just trying to lead people, but they don't have no soul. They didn't do no internal work on their character, and they haven't done like authenticity is something that I think is super important, because it'll make you feel so much stronger, and you'll convey so much more powerful messages that way. And it might suck at first, you know? And it's gonna suck either way. Like, life is hard. So you might as well learn to be the best version of yourself. Like, if you have something that you believe in your heart is like worth telling other people because you think you could help them, and it doesn't have to be a world widespread, like a new proverb, that everyone uses. It doesn't have to be that. It's about the moment that you're in, the current moment, the present. Like, that's what's important, because if you can learn how to help one person, then the next time you get to a situation where you have an opportunity, or a situation that you can enhance in a blessing way, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I learned from that. Let me bring forth this. And so, you know, I think one thing that I've struggled with is like feeling like nobody understands me. Like I'm in my own world, and I'm just not understood. And so I've spent a lot of time trying to explain my thought process of like how I see things, because when it doesn't make sense to someone else, I used to trip about it, because I'd be like, okay, I gotta figure this out so I can explain it. But sometimes people can't see your vision. It's not to say that you don't want to work on your craft, and your the way that you approach presenting what your internal is. It's just that it's a thing that you wanna be able to get to a place where your heart like can affect other people. And when I say that, it's not always about the soft, mushy gushy love. Like, you can be hard on someone and change their heart with your heart. You know what I'm saying? You can be a dog and and revitalize someone. Like, tough love isn't a bad thing, and soft love isn't a bad thing either. And it's about being able to read the situation, read the person, read the soul in a way. I think a lot of times when people think of like the soul, they I feel like a lot of people take away more than they should by over explaining. Because the beauty of life is that we are emotional creatures. And the more we can tap and tune into that, the more we can become a version of ourselves that is capable of not only changing our own perspective, but others as well. And you don't want to you don't want to assume that you need to have a cold heart in order to be successful. Like, I feel like there's a lot of media out there of successful people talking about having no feelings in business and just being a cold killer. And as much as maybe that works, you know, but you got to look yourself in a mirror at the end of the day. And it's like the emotional creature thing is like we feel deeply. A lot of people just choose to shut it out. But when you feel deeply with life, like it blesses you. And part of that blessing is pain, because there's beauty in pain. And it's not something that is easy to explain, in my opinion, because it feels good and it hurts. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's like crying for someone, but yeah, they might not understand me, I guess,